don't know if you have the misfortune of ever spending any time listening to liberal talk radio, which in and of itself should be somewhat hilarious. There is a such thing as liberal talk radio. I think 14 people on the East Coast listen to it. 2 tree huggers eating granola listen to it down in North Carolina or something like that, Asheville. There is a such thing, and I unfortunately am one of the dozens of people that subject myself to this pain and suffering. What's funny about liberal talk radio is it doesn't matter what time of day you tune in. I mean, you can literally press the record button, walk away for 2 hours, come back to talking about the exact same thing. It's always the same thing. They're either disrespecting Sarah Palin in some redundant way, or they're talking about evil corporations. Evil corporations that are creeping from the shadows of society, trying to snuff out any vestige of hope and heart and goodness still pumping in the American vein. These evil corporations. 24/7. Liberal talk radio right there in a nutshell. It's probably one of the most mystifying facets of political discourse today, in my opinion, because little known fact, evil corporations, first of all, are just made up of individual people that are either successful or endeavoring for some form of prosperity, etc. But the other little known fact is that evil corporations are the vast majority of employment, jobs. Who wants anything to do with that? Jobs. Who needs jobs? It's just this old Reagan kind of term, you know, employment, jobs, prosperity. Those conservatives. Big corporations, or some might call it the private sector. You see, that's what funds and pays for the public sector. No matter which side of the aisle you lean to, the inconvenient little truth is, Al Gore, there can only be so many governmental jobs. Even with the socialist in office, you can only have so many governmental jobs. And here's why. Because you need money in the treasury to pay for those jobs, right? Public sector jobs, by and large, don't generate any money. It's the private industry, evil corporations, that fund all of that. So when you just constantly class warfare, demagogue, and trash private sector, you don't have any money for public sector. Facts can be very troublesome, I know. Unfortunately, we got to deal with them. So a tip from my fellow American on the left: you might be a very good father, a good neighbor, a good guy. I don't villainize you, but you're economically oblivious. Wailing on corporations 24/7, it gets us nowhere. It might make you feel good. It makes no sense, guys. It's emotive, but it makes actually no sense, and it doesn't get us out of our problems. But, you know, if you take away slandering and libeling and defaming corporations, you just don't have any liberal talk radio anymore. So then we lose even more jobs. Dilemma. Take it to the bank.